심하네요. 이건.
A courtyard that could have once been a vast flourishing garden was now full of nails erected tall. A variety of prosthetic bodies were pierced, and the house was enveloped in ferocious flame while everyone's attention brought to the prosthesis. Sinclair's eye drifted to a corner of the yard.
무덤들이
Following his gaze, I could see 3 graves that were violated. Sinclair's expression alone was enough for me and all the other sinners to guess who they were for.
보관 참수라니 마귀가 따로 없구려.
Yeah. These guys are awful. Father, mother, sister, the family he mentioned.
잠깐. 거수자 한 명.
휘파람기.
아니.
It's the lady
아무리 생각해도 너무 웃기잖아.
from the PA system. Her laugh was simply sinister in every way imaginable.
썩지도 않는 몸뚱이들을 정성스럽게 묻어놓는 거
Oh,
말이야.
yeah, it's Cromer.
그치? 그래도 여기 꼬챙이들 중에 잘 찾아보면 찾을 수 있을 거야. 내 말 잘 들으면 위치를 알려줄 수. 어때, 싱클레어? 시체들을 쳐다볼 용기도 기르고.
대체
Sinclair couldn't even speak
기포팀들은 어디 간
properly.
거지? 이 지점까지 왔다면. 아, 싱클레어 친구들.
Ah,
같이 숨어들어온 다른 쥐새끼들을 쳤나 봐.
what the heck, dude?
좋아, 좋아.
These guys, they have such
내가 조명을
punchable
켜줄
faces,
테니까
don't they?
눈 크자잔.
Oh no! Effie was barely breathing. His limbs had been cut away and... Oh no, it's Effie. He was too mutilated to even speak a single word.
저대로라면 온전히 사망까지 걸리는 장대에 서서히 꽂히면서
Then,
관리자님, 저는 사람을 쓰였던 적이 많은 기술 명령을 요청해도
I looked to both Gregor and Ishmael. They acknowledged, understood what that meant. The collar of Otis' clothes brushed against the wind, and silence. And it's then broken by Cromer's roaring laughter.
Huh.
At the same time, I could hear something else break.
어차피 다 같은 꼴이 될 텐데 챙겨주는 꼴 진짜 웃긴다.
Cromer, you're gonna die an awful death.
싱클레어, 그때 네 표정도 진짜 볼만했었는데.
He kinda looks like
크로마,
KFC.
너는 죽어야만 해. 그게 맞는 것 같아.
That's right, Sinclair.
넌내 손에
It was interrupted by the sound of a nail dragging across the floor.
귀도란
We thought we had felled him with our best, but not a scratch was on his body now. He healed? Rendered speechless, all they can muster from their hearts is deep groan of contempt.
나머지는 왜 처리를
용서하십시오, 지능자시여.
항상 경계해야 해.
명심하겠습니다.
Steel cranium.
지능자시여.
대회는 끝났으니까 나는 다시 돌아간다.
Even that guy with the helmet on, he has such a punchable face.
크로마! 돌아와! 내가 널
Sinclair's quite feisty right now. Damn.
아니지 싱클레어. 항상 그랬지만
A long smirk dances across Cromer's face. And then,
지는 건 나야.
그새 제법 싸우는 폼이 발전했는데요.
oh no, it's Soda. Oh, that's Soda's voice. Oh no. Soda was resting against the wall, exhausted. She was covered in bites and knowings left by the Pecatula.
괜찮으세요? 일어설 수 있으시겠어요?
Of course not. Soda could barely talk, let alone stand on her feet. She slowly began to speak, each word filled with pain.
에피는 어떻게 살아있죠?
Yeah, he's alive.
만났죠?
How could any of us inform her of the morbid state Effie was in and how we had to put him out of his misery?
네, 살아있어요.
Good answer, Honglu. No sooner came forward to elaborate.
잡담은 그만하지. 또 그 이상한 것들이 기어오는 듯하니.
It was as though our guilt about lying to her had gained physical form. Might as well lie to her because she seems to be in that bed too. God! Oh my!
씹는 맛이 있는데?
I just witnessed a murder.
씹는 맛이 있는데?
Heathcliff, my goodness. Easy. Okay, what ego gift do we get? I heard that familiar yet ominous sound of a nail being dragged across the floor from not too far away.
관리자님, 앞으로는 확인 사살을 기본 전투 계획에 넣는 것이 어떠신지 건의드립.
The thought of his return makes what hair I have stand on end. What the hell? Guido is still alive? Even after fighting him twice, Guido approaches at a slower gait than before, but his gaze is firmly fixed on me.
그리고 나머지는
I needed to rewind the clock. Most of the sinners were either dead or gravely injured. There was no way an effectively non-combatant manager and someone barely holding onto her life could take him.
멈추세요.
Uh-oh. Just then Sade pulled out a gun. She pointed the barrel at me.
움직이지 마시길. 그 시계를 돌리는 순간 제 총이 그대로 머리를 꿰뚫어 버릴 거예요.
What?
그렇게 쳐다봐도 저한텐 안 들려요. 당신을 없애는데 협조하면 에피는 살려서
no.
보내준다고.
시간을 지나치게 오래
Guido comes to me and grabs me by the neck. Ha! Then he grips my head tightly with his other hand as if to crush it. Creaks and rattles ring inside my head. His fingers being inches away from shattering my head terrifies me. Is this it? Is this how I die? Could this have turned out differently if I was a better manager? I remember Heathcliff menacingly asked if there was a way to open up my head so he could see what's inside. Tough luck, Heathcliff. You'll be missing out on a good show. I heard a sound. It was the sound of something breaking. Fortunately for me, it didn't come from my head. Sinclair. A nail was lodged in his back, and Sinclair was grasping for hair behind him. He was nearly unconscious, lying still until moments ago. It's a miracle that he managed to get up and do this. I could escape Guido's grasps thanks to him. But Guido stood firm despite Sinclair's desperate attack. He collected his breath and slowly turned around.
그렇군. 그대 또한 이단이란
너희들 다
You
미쳤어.
can see his face here.
제정신이 아니야.
지는 자께서 말씀하셨. 그대도 또한 지는 자일 수
The one?
있었다고. 그러나 쉬는 방향이 잘못되었군.
I mean, Sinclair is special. Run away, I can't help you.
아니요. 이제 안 돼.
좋은 대답이네요, 싱클레어 씨.
What? The bullet struck Guido's head.
스스로 멸망에 이르는 망치는 계속해서
Good on you, Sade. With those words, Guido fell to the floor, motionless, and in that hush, I heard her handgun drop to the floor. Sade.
피는 역시 죽었죠. 당신들은 허술해요. 거짓말을 하려면 좀 그럴듯한 표정이라도 짓다가.
My Sade.
소드 씨, 얼른 나가자고. 지혈 좀 하고 그러면은
맞아요. 제가 지을 때를 챙겨. 무슨 말을 하는 거예요? 제대로 움직이곤다나 저 신문관들은 계속 제가 여길
What can you
맡을
do?
겁니다.
You even said yourself you
먼저
can't move a
가세요.
finger.
어떻게 그
제대로 움직이기도 힘들다면서요.
Yeah, exactly.
그래서는 어떻게 저기 이럴 땐 격떨어지게 남은 사람 걱정.
그치만
아, 이거 진짜 구질구질한 장면인 거 알아요? 파우스트, 얼른 이 멍청이들
You know, it's
데리고
better if
가줘요.
we help her, but
베르길리우스 씨한테는
it's her
안부
wish.
전해드리죠.
남부는 무슨 인사나 한번 와달라고 해주세요. 무슨 뜻인지.
네.
We headed for the next area, leaving Sade to die. We all stayed silent for a long while. Sag. Damn. Okay, we lost Sade. We got a sign. Ooh, there's something here below. We got the old warehouse key. Here, let's use the key. Old broken crates. These are all locked. They have the same shape. Keyhole. Looks like we can only open one. Tremor attacks or bleed attacks. Boost defense. We need it. Ooh.
어디서
예.
짐승이 기어다니는 소리.
There certainly is the sound of something moving along the floor. It's a transformed.
저것들도 환상체.
What's that?
자세히 봐요. 환상체가 아니에요.
It's a transformed Inquisitor. Emblems of
에고 침식
Inquisitors.
그 기분 나쁜 상태를
전투 중에 멘탈이 흔들릴 때 그랬던 것 같은데. 우자구적 씹혀 먹히는 것과는 괴가 다르지만 본질을 좀 먹어 들어. 그리고 이 장소는 아까 층과는 다르게 의 스스로 침식을 강행시키는 장소.
Huh? They're doing that on purpose? Staring at those beings stumbling about, it evoked complex feelings that made me sigh. Is my artificial head really worth raging over, so much so that they would transform themselves into something far more hideous? Choosing to lose themselves, being possessed, what about the golden bow? Would it even be used for their benefit? Then it occurred to me, am I really so different from those unsightly zombies? Just the high damaging ego. Ooh, new ego gift. At the start of turn, allies with lust have haste, defense, and power up. Defense power up if the unit took damage from attacks last turn. Uh oh. Whoa, this place is actually huge. The heck? This is the biggest dungeon we've seen so far.
싱싱한 풀이 보이.
Like I said, this place is huge. Hey yo! What the heck is this? Slithering Inquisitor? Oh, this guy. He watches Harry Potter, huh? Looking tasty. Alright. Ooh. This one has a 50% chance of kind of reviving our character. I see endless mounds of dead bodies. The Inquisitors were raising their arms in unison as if to worship something, and their chromers stood at highest peak. She held out her hands in a prayer-like gesture towards the golden bow atop an altar.
이미 자아심도가 열렸어요. 우리보다 먼저 황금가지와
Someone
공명을
resonated with the bow.
대체 뭘 하고 있는
It's
거야?
probably Cromer.
뭘 향해서 손을 뻗고 있는 건데?
Right here.
이건 무슨 소리지?
Announcement sound?
어디서 많이 들어본 소리인데. 왜
학교 종소리잖아. 어지간히도 학교가.
The playful conversation seemed to lighten the mood of the sinners. Save for one. The one who should have been the owner of the Phantom still showed unease. Yeah, it's Sinclair.
보여주고 싶지 않아요.
Unfortunately, his plea held no power over the realm.
잘 들어.
주는 자께서 막
이단들이 우리의 신성한 의식을 방해하는 것도 못
불쾌하고도
가서 죽어라.
What the heck are these echo chambers?
황금의 재물만 있다면 너희는 무한히
주는 자께서 함께하시고
죽인 자식이라.
그리고
Sinclair.
싱클레어 이리 와.
Sinclair.
어서 내 손에 쥐어.
주는 자께 부려지는 것은
Stop.
싱클레어 동전은 가져왔지.
또래들이 모여 있는 쉬는 시간은 어른들은 때때로
Okay,
그런
backstory
얘기를
time.
멋지게서 하지만 조금만
Something they don't
가까이서 보면
realize.
떠들썩한 시간이 그만큼
Children are
아이들은
crafty
교묘하다는
natures.
걸.
That's true.
라플은
But you have to remember, we were all kids once.
심지어 아직 제대로 공개한 적도 없는 최신 기술이래지.
잡지에 나온 이 배우 알지? 우리 어머니한테 안구 시술 받기로 했다는 거 내가 말했나?
Hmm?
한두 마디씩 던지는 친구들의 말에 너는 뭐 없어? 라면서 쳐다보는 눈이 이건 비밀인데 침이 꼴딱 넘어간다. 어쩌면 뭐 없냐는 말은 하지만 나는 그 순간 내팽개쳐질 것을 뻔하게 알고 있어. 우리 아빠는 피사와 협약을 맺었어. 맙소사 그들의 눈밖에 나지 않으려던 공포에 혹은 순간의 치기 기업 간의 비밀 협약이니 다른 사람들에게는 절대 말해서는 안 된다고.
와, 그게 진짜냐, 싱클레어?
피사면 그 날개 말하는 거야?
대화의 중심은 순식간에 나로 바뀌었다. 우쭐함. 그건 아마도 나는 저열한 허세에 휩싸였어.
그러고 보니 싱클레어, 너도 곧 받겠네. 의체 시술?
당연하지. 제일 최신형으로 해주신다고. 저들이 만약 조금이라도 내 표정을 유심히 맞득잖아 하는 내 얼굴을 분명 눈치챘을 것이다. 하지만 다행히도 그런 것 따위 알아차는 쉬는 시간이 끝나고 주위에 아무도 남아있지 않았을 비밀을 지키라고 했는데 손톱에서는 어느새 불안할 때마다 손톱을 뜯던 버릇이 나는 그 버릇을 고치기 위해 대신에 살점을 물어뜯게 될 줄은.
I kind of feel sorry for people who are this anxious
책상에 떨어지는 핏방울을 보면서
when it comes to groups of
그런
people.
생각이 들었다.
Me, I only ever get anxious if
졸업을 하면
I'm alone.
의체
and
시술을
The thoughts get provoked somehow.
영영 상처날 일도 피를 보게 되는 일도.
But when I'm doing these kind of games, I'm fine.
너 피가 나네?
Oh,
경쾌한
Cromer.
휘파람 소리와 함께 말을 거니는 이름 정도만
He
겨우
was
기억될
a
정도로
classmate.
교류가 없던 동급생.
It's crazy to think that they're about the same age, huh?
우스꽝스러운 말투로 뭐라고?
있잖아. 네가 아까 그렇구나.
Uh-oh.
뭐 예상치 못한 찬사에 나는 아버지의 훌륭함이
그런데
뭘?
너 말이야
그러더니 고개를 숙이고선
더럽다고.
눈동자가 커진다. 속마음을 들켰다는 당황스러움도 있어. 애써 숨겼다고 생각한 의중을 뻔뻔하게 부정하면
I've gotten
되기를.
away with it.
왜냐하면
나랑?
통하는 사람끼리 많은 게 보이는 법이지.
Kids can be really stupid or really smart.
그 이후로 나는 크로모와 종종
Mm-hmm. So that's where it all began, huh? One wave, that's good. We're slowly getting to know more and more about Sinclair. But apparently he's always been more reserved ever since he was a kid. Speaking of the anxiety thing, I feel sorry for those who feel anxious, very anxious when faced with a group of people, like a crowd, because then they won't be able to enjoy maybe their interests. For example, a concert, and then they see that there's too many people lining up, and they won't be able to enjoy it because they hate going into a draw of people. It's kind of sad, but there's always going to be opportunities and options for other people.
명령에 따를게요.
What am I saying? I'm playing a game called Limbus Company.
우리 가족은 매일 아침마다
Here we go.
같이 식사를 해야 하는 규칙이 있었. 온 가족이 식탁에 둘러앉아 이야기를 공유하고 나는 그 시간이 좋았다. 내게는 너무 당연한 그 세계가 슬쩍 위아가 나의 누나까지 의체 시술을 받고 식탁에 자리했던 그
Oh,
아버지의 머리가
they had so many different
각종
prosthetics.
전선, 회로로 이뤄진 낯선 것으로 가족들 간의 식사는 더
Why?
위체로 더러워. 신체를 뼈와 살이 아닌 다른 무언가로 왜 우리는 조심스럽게 이유를 물어보니 인간의 몸은 고리타분하다는 것이요. 먹지 않으면 배고파하고 자지 않으면 피곤해하고 다치기라도 하면 회복을 기다. 이 모든 것들은 한없이 비효율적이다. 그러니 시간이 지날수록 의체를 사용하는 이들의 비율은 늘어갈 것이며 나는 속으로 그럴 거라면 차라리 도트되어
To be fair though, that's how all living creatures go.
그 말에 반박을 할 수는 없었지만
We sleep, we eat, we need the
싱클레어,
nutrients.
의체 시술 받는 거.
나는
하지만 부모님한테 솔직하게 아무것도 할 수 없는 게
다시 한번
내가 도와줄까? 그런 것 따위 받지 않고.
Oh my
어떡해?
goodness.
그건 다음에
This is where the
말해줄게.
nail and hammer
그
starts.
대신 내가 너의 원망을 해소해 주듯이.
왜
싱클레어, 너희 집에 있는 지하실 말이야.
그녀의 말은 너무나도 갑작스레. 떨어진 지우개를 주워달라고 하는 것만큼 당연한 부탁을 하는 것만 같아. 우리 집 지하실은 왜?
내가 우연히 들은 이야기가 맞다면 그곳은 엄청난 곳과 연결되어 있거든. 꼭
Oh
확인해봐야
no.
하겠어.
하지만 부모님이
Sinclair.
좋아하지 않으실 텐데.
내가 확인만 제대로 할 수. 저번에 했던 약속. 지하실 열쇠를 몰래.
그녀의 말에 숨어있는 기시감을 끝끝내 찾아내지 못한 나는 천천히
Sinclair, no.
악의 세계가
Oh, this time it's a two-wave abomination battle.
가보죠.
The Inquisitors are more difficult than these guys.
뒤에 지하실 열쇠를 몰래 크로머가 안내한 곳은 환풍구를 한참 기어가자 옷은 점점 더러워지고 있었고 목은 말라오며 그때 여태까지와는 다른 냄새가 주변을 감싸고 있다는 사실을 눈치챘다.
너도 느껴지지?
크로머가 속삭이는 소리가 들려.
앞에 뭔가 있는 거야.
만약 돌아가야 할 마지막 기회가 남아있다면 지금이라도 그녀를 만류하고 온갖 달콤한 회유를 끼얹으며 그녀에게 그따위 사탕 발림이. 하지만 나는 처음으로 악당들과 왜였을까? 나는 그게 마지막 기회라는 것을. 그 광경은 정말이지 두 번 다시는 보기. 이걸 단순히 괴물이라고 표현할 수 있을까? 그러기에는 지성이 있는 것처럼 보였고 인간이라고 하기에는 어딘가 두려움에 몸부림치며 나는 이 세계에 발을 들인 것을
I
후회하기
wonder what
시작했다.
they saw.
왜 기회를 걷어차고 나서야 다시금 기회가 올 수
Sinclair,
없을지
you
기원하는
idiot.
꼴불견 같은 짓을 하는 걸. 그런 후회와 함께 이건 크로머.
My God.
하지만 크로머는 달랐다. 그녀는 아주 황홀한 일생의
Pandora's
대단한
box.
무언가를 마주한 사람처럼 어떤 말도 들리지 않는 것처럼 보이는 크로머. 왜 우리 집 근처에 왜 크로머는 뒤에서 바람을 타고 크로머의 옷sak. 다음날 크로머는 아무렇지 않게
싱클레어, 내게 귀중한 것을 보여줘서 이건 내 보답이야.
그러더니 그녀는
Mysterious
정체모를
coins.
동전 2개를
항상 가지고 있도록.
고개를 끄덕이지 않을 수. 그 후 매일 밤 환풍구 나는 자연스레 크로머 그녀를 바라보는 것만으로도 두려움과 기시감에 절여져 떨어들. 그러나 아직 크로머에게는 나는 지하실 열쇠를 훔친 바보 같은 실수를 저질렀지만
That's
그
a
시간 동안
sin.
나는 너무
He
그러면
gave the
가족들은
basement key.
처음엔 분명. 하지만 원래 같았다면 정문 앞에 설 때부터 나를 뒤에
Uh-oh.
내가 마주한 것. 누군가가
Is that Cromer?
감초를 입고
인간되지 아니한 것들이
내버려둬 기도. 불순물들 아니 전기가.
기계 파편과 피.
싱클레어.
피와 살점이 묻은 망치를 든 채로
아, 난 옛날부터 저런. 왜냐하면 나는. 그런데 그런 불순한 새끼들을 내가.
나의 다리는 힙도 마찬가지다. 눈앞에 크로머의 발이 보여. 차마 고개 아버지와 어머니와 누나를. 하지만 아무런 의아해진 나는 크로머는 언젠가 내가 책상에 앉아있을
Cromer?
하지만
She has to die.
그러더니
Yeah,
내
not just Cromer, all these Inquisitors.
동전이다.
They have to die. No, they shouldn't die. They should be tortured and then waterboarded and then have their loved ones killed in front of them, maybe?
내가 널 부를 거야.
I've been reading too many manhwa with kidnapping and badass stories.
하는 이명과 구둣발 소리. 나는
Damn. That sucks. Cromer sucks. Sinclair deserves better. He was also kind of stupid though, but who would have thought, right?
예술이 뭔지 보여주지.
He was innocent. Sucks. This really sucks.
골목. 난 그곳에서
클레어? 네 마음속에 나 있는
크로머.
눈 아직 때가 되지도 않. 널 죽여보고 싶어. 아니야 참아야지.
싱클레어, 공명하기 시작한
알아요. 황금가지가 아니라 개새끼는.
싱클레. 그래도 뭐 친구.
So annoying, Cromer.
지 않을 거지?
The heck? Okay, here's Cromer. She has almost 700 HP. And she's a POS. Let's start with some hard-hitting ego.
좋은 전략이네요. 가보죠.
Ooh. The sinners were fatigued and damaged, some already dead. As opposed to us, Cromer still stands triumphantly. She reaches for the inside of Sinclair's coat in what seems like a declaration of his fate.
자, 때가 됐어, 싱클레어. 두 번째 동지.
She's crazy.
마지막 기회를 가져갈.
나한테 왜 그러는 거야? 왜?
싱클레어, 내가 왜 지하실 열쇠를 그건 말이지. 이미 이곳을 네가 나의 열쇠였기 때문에.
Aww.
나는 말이지. 벌어질 수많은 미래를 들어 그 중에 너와 내가 함께 온 둥지를 돌아다니면서 곳곳에 퍼져 있는 모든 이단 역겨운 이단의 신체 슬하에서 성장한 너 그들이 역겹다고 느낄 수 있는 너였으니까 말이야.
That's messed up, but Sinclair looks cool here.
너는 그 할버드로 이단들의 머리를 꿰뚫고
That's one of his identities.
나는 망치로 머리통을
하지마!
그 세계에 너는 정말
아니야, 거짓말이야!
거짓말인지 아니.
Cromer suddenly cracked a wry laugh and stopped moving. The golden bow! It resonated with her cackle. Then,
시작됐어. 드디어.
second form.
싱클레어,
Oh my god.
나를 찢어
Iron Maiden.
할수 있다면.
Ooh. No loading screen that time.
좋은 전략이네요. 가보죠.
Look at her HP. It's 100 more than the previous one. Oh. Ooh. This really is giving final boss. Final boss music. Staggered. My boy staggered. Oh Jesus.
명령대로.
여행엔 목적이 있었지.
Hey, this music's great. Ooh. I increased the volume of the music. This is great.
명령대로.
Whoa, we got pushed back as part of an unskippable kind of thing. The fleshy hill exuded potent acid, melting Sinclair's legs. All the other sinners were being dissolved by the caustic secretion too. There's Otis here in the corner. He trips and hits the ground. No, perhaps I should say he was thrown off his feet. In spite of that, he still crawls towards Cromer.
그거야. 고통스럽지, 증오스럽지. 나를 봐. 가장 순수한
You're crazy, lady.
싱클레어,
This is a Wendy's.
너. 싱클레어, 사실은 무서워. 사실 네가 있을 곳은 여기가. 도망치고 싶었지. 다 그만두고. 반드시.
Man, this would be insane if it's animated.
싱클레어, 피하지 말고 받아.
The arm Sinclair was using to hold his weapon was growing limp by the second. He nevertheless continues in Cromer's direction.
받아들여야 해. 우린 고통마저도 초월한 순간이야. 살점을 채우고 피를
Bloat the flesh, spill the blood. Oh, oh.
흘려가면서 만인의 도시에 존재하는 불순물이 걸러진
She sounds like Doomslayer.
순수.
Do this for your family, Sinclair. Vacantly mutters, looking at the faces of his now dead fellow sinners. I couldn't leave him like this. Sinclair, listen to me. I'm embarrassed that it took me so long to take action, but it was better late than never. Act like the manager I am. I know you think a lot. I know there's a lot going in your head that you can't share with the others. That's how he was. Worried that he might be a burden, he constantly put his mind through doubts and ruminations, most of which he never let on about. He chewed up many a thought in the form of guilt.
가족들은 나 때문에
No, it wasn't your
죽었어.
fault.
말해서는 안 되는 거.
모두 네 잘못이야. 그러니까 받아들여. 나를 따라와. 내 손에 쥐어주는 거야.
Don't listen to her. You have to see, look at her, observe her carefully. Alas, my voice didn't seem to reach him. Sinclair's weapon leaves his hand and lands on the ground. His advance for Cromer has stopped. Yep, it looks like this is the end for us. I can feel my body melting into the mound. I knew I tried to play the proper manager sooner or later, but... Sinclair... I have to tell him more. I have to tell him that Cromer's spewing a heap of lies, threats, hypocrisy, and exaggeration. Every nerve in my body is screaming that I shouldn't give up on him. I can feel the burning pain of my melting body. Look! Look closely, Sinclair! Not with your eyes, but with your heart. I screeched at Sinclair. Only then will you see what matters most.
그래야만 가장 중요한 것이 보일 테니까.
In that moment, someone quietly appeared.
가장 중요한 것을 볼 수 있다면
He still looks the same.
얕은 겁박이나 속임수로
Daniel.
그렇지, 싱클레어?
Yeah. Look at this. He moved with grace and airiness as though he floated in the air. He seemed lighter than anyone else, unbound by anything, contrary to his impression of freedom from all worldly longings. An oppressive air seemed to accompany every step he took. He's the strongest being we've seen so far, and with just a wave of his right arm, maybe he's stronger than Virgilius. Cromer's upper body vanished in a clean cut. Oh my goodness. Oh, I mean Damien.
스스로
Daniel.
능력을
Get
바꿨구나,
close.
싱클레어. 너는 아직 겁쟁이도 아니고 영웅도 아니. 그때도 말했지.
그 누군가에게
When you fear someone, that's because you gave them the power to have control over you.
맞아. 그리고 나는 그래서 저 크로머를
The man referred to as Damien started to walk. He took airy steps.
세상은 싱클레어.
Fainted before he could answer. Damien slowly made his way over to me.
옛날 옛쪽에 사람들이 믿었다. 하지만 나는 크로머는 꽤 노력했어. 크리스마스까지는 결국 자기들이 그렇게 싫어.
What are you talking about? Who are you?
반가워, 단테. 당신이 잠깐 동안 싱클레어를 길들여줄 어른이고 내가 누구인지 무슨 말을 하고 있었는지는 싱클레어가 마음의 힘을 굳게 믿구나. 아름다운 별과 그때 나는 다시 돌아올 거야.
When he becomes one with the beautiful stars?
그날까지 싱클레어를 잘 부탁해.
I like how they
단테.
how they call me. I mean how they call my cat. You can hear me?
나는 모든 지적임을 들을 수 있어, 단테. 언제나 가장 중요한 건
The boy with the blue scarf vanished without notice. After that, the mounds began to melt away. They dissolved into mixtures of flesh and mud. With them gone, a single golden bow appeared before me, spreading its warm light. Sinclair's world was gradually melting with the hills. I excruciatingly dragged what's left of my upper body across the floor to reach Sinclair. He was still breathing, and so was I. I figured I should still be able to turn the clock. Thus, that means I'm still their manager and I should act like one. Plus, as I learned in my dying moments, I have to strive to become a more sensible manager. With all that, I need to tell him, it might have been your fault, Sinclair. But that's okay, really. It's one small mistake, one anyone could make. Plus, you were a really young, dumb kid, so don't beat yourself up so much about it. I pat him on the back with my half-melted right arm. Sinclair doesn't reply. To be truthful, trying to identify someone to blame all this on would be a never-ending endeavor, from each of us going and carrying our sins onto the bus, to my loss of head and memory accompanied by an involuntary appointment as the executive manager. At the root of all this, I might find no one but myself to blame, staying bound by that fact.
발견했습니다.
I can hear multiple footsteps approaching our horribly incapacitated team. Virgilius must have figured out we'd get into a mess and called the after team to scoop us off the
이자인
ground.
것 같습니다. 지금
These guys are probably from a different branch of Limbus company. I felt a jab in my shoulder and then a strange sensation enveloped the parts of my body that had melted
그분이
off.
지원해 주신 HP 앰플은 3개입니다.
Oh,
전부
we're regenerating. Color,
확인했습니다.
K-Corp. The voices around me started to fade. Sinclair's bawling lamentation dimly rings through the emptiness. Our third mission marked sober and dismal. Defeat? But you got the golden bow. Even though we recovered the golden bow, we lost. Oh, okay, I get it. On the other hand, the buzz was more vibrant than usual, possibly out of everyone's attempts to disregard the depressing outcome. Aww, Virgilius.
우와, 신기하게 생겼네요.
내가 살던 곳에서도 이런
Kikochi of the dark variety.
달콤한 냄새. 내 피가 좋아.
Now I want chicken skewers. Sharon was humming another familiar tune.
하루원, 아직 크리스마스.
카론의 흥을 깨지 마.
Silent Night.
카론이 크리스마스 같이
She was
느꼈다면
humming Silent Night.
아니,
뭐 그러면 그래도 기사 양반이라고 부르든가.
Bus girly. Virgilius was watching the scene unfold, leaving his food to cool and hardly taking a bite. Perhaps he gone quiet because of Sharon's song. It does come to mind that he said she was going through a tunnel. And then I turned my gaze to Sinclair, who was awkwardly laughing amongst the other sinners. If we're going through a long tunnel, then what we do is wait for the morning to arrive, right?
뭐라는 거야, 단테?
Yeah, that was poetic for Dante.
관리자님은 말 한마디 없이도 우리를 휘어잡은 놀라운
This is why I
인지심과
like
없는
Otis.
아니, 그렇게 덮어놓고 딸랑거리면 안 돼.
야,
That's just her
이거
personality. She's not licking our boots.
이봐, 벌양.
드디어 말하면 내가 모를 것 같았어.
BG, I thought about giving a speech to the sinners about how this fruitful yet unsuccessful mission changed my mindset, but I soon shelved the idea. I told Sinclair to not let the failure of the moment bind him after all. Instead, I resolved to make up for this less than ideal outcome on our next mission.
붉은 아니 베르길리우스 본인은 주의받은 대로 행동했다고 생각한 그러니
Look at our Don Quixote. The message I couldn't speak, but one I'm sure has been conveyed in one way or another spreads between us, and so the morning came. Whew, that was chapter 3. It's a crazy ride. It felt a little drawn out, the flashbacks of Sinclair, because this was the longest dungeon, but I guess it's fine in the end. Now just listen to his beautiful voice with me. If you like this series, leave a like so I know that there's people who actually likes watching this kind of Limbus company shiz. And as always, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye.
쉼없이 달려왔던 나를 죄어오던 시간들 이조차 그리워질까 먼 날 언젠가는 돌이켜볼 기억 속에 미소 지을 수 있기를 내게 남은 알 수 없는 시간과 이제는 나가야 할 때 자신을 태워 사라져가는 촛불과 닮아 있구나 충고를 새도 없이 떠밀려 던져진 날 속에 내 길을 갈 수
부서질 수 있도록 멀리 멀리 날아가고 싶어 밤하늘의 새처럼 별에 닿을 수 있게 이 밤 또다시 찾아오겠지만 괜찮아 다 사라지네 괜찮아
Dang, do all of them know how to sing?